So I have a problem.
Yeah. Welcome to Mr. Mani. He joins us after a long time, friends, and it is such a good feeling having him back with us. Thank you so much for coming, sir.
Thank you. Welcome.
Yeah. So straight away, for the time lost, let us get straight to the topic, Mr. Mani. We're looking at the documentary made by BBC, or rather a fakecumentary. It's not even a documentary; it's a fakecumentary made by
I
BBC. Yeah. And what I found was that very strange is that the people who are featuring in it are all anti-Modi. Okay,
right,
we are
perfectly
talking
right.
about people like Alishan Jafri, okay, who is a journalist with the propaganda website The Wire. The second
Right.
person is Hartosh Singh Bal. He is the political editor of the propaganda news website The Caravan, another Modi basher. The third character is the propaganda documentary of BBC is Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay, who writes for The
Again,
Wire and The Caravan. He works and gets a salary from the money laundering accused firm NewsClick. Now, the fourth character who appeared in propaganda BBC documentary is Arundhati Roy, who we all know very well as the most anti-Indian, in the world. But very few know that she was the first to give funds to propaganda fact-checking website Alt News and the communist owners. The fifth character is Jaffrey Lord Christoph. Interestingly, his propaganda works are promoted by the same entities like The Wire and The Caravan. Then there is Jack Straw, another important character behind this documentary. He came on the propaganda website, The Wire, for an exclusive interview just after the release of the propaganda BBC documentary. What a coincidence that he chose The Wire for an interview. Now, after the release of the propaganda BBC fakecumentary, propaganda journalists of The Wire and The Caravan and other IPSFM funded have done their job as per planning. What do you think, sir, is happening here? Have they become so shameless that people cannot make out who are the people behind this?
Basically, I'll put it like this. You listed out a lot of names. It is not today that anti-Modi groups are attacking them. The anti-Modi group have been on this exercise or this on this endeavor of distortion or distormentary or whatever it is, right from 2000, and there is a reason for that. It is a very underneath there is a connection with the ISI. If Arundhati Roy, I will tell you some very interesting thing. Today, the government of India has flagged the Indus Water Treaty's issue about it. Arundhati Roy, Medha Patkar stood against the Narmada. They stood with the protesters in the Narmada, and we all know what is it. I'm just giving a small overview.
Yeah, yeah.
Because as per the original Indus Water Treaty of 1960 also, which was should have been reviewed in 2004, which the then government lost an opportunity. After utilizing the 80% of the water, the residuary water should have been given to the western parts of India as per the treaty, but that never happened. And the Gujarat continued to remain parched, but thanks to the Sardar Sarovar project, thanks to Narmada, now the Kutch area, the western parts of Gujarat and many parts of Rajasthan are irrigated.
Yeah.
So they had, at that time also, this is the antecedents of these people, what you have named. Jaffrey case is a very important case, I'm taking you, I'm giving you a walk through the Gujarat riots and all. If you recollect, see, 13th December 2001 was the parliament attack.
Yes.
Subsequent to the parliament attack, there was an escalation of military, and we had started the program of Operation Parakram.
Yes.
Now, Operation Parakram, they were almost on the stage of, it all takes almost, see, 13 December, one day only, they would not have decided on Operation Parakram. 15-20 days, then the mobilization, etc., etc. It would have taken a good month. And Pakistan, for all well, knows that in a conventional warfare, they will be beaten to pulp from the experience. And that is the reason that subsequent after the Kargil also, they have been doing, even Kargil was a sort of a non-state, non-conventional warfare started by the Pakistan. They never thought that it will ever turn into a conventional warfare. So that is the way it is. That was also intended to be a non-conventional, non-state actors, but even now they claim it as freedom fighters, not Pakistan Rangers, soldiers or army. And Operation Parakram, they had to do something to de-escalate it. So the Sabarmati train burning. Do you know the Sabarmati train burning, the Godhra train burning? 140 liters of petrol was stored in one Aman guest house,
Yes.
right opposite to the Godhra station. The train arrived on time at around 7:05 or 7:10, S5, S6 coaches. Once it started moving, the train chain pulling happened again. 9 o'clock, it was again started moving, and by the time they could not transport the 140 liters of petrol, which again will be around 180, 120, 130 kilograms by weight. So chain pulling and then burned the thing. And when the passengers were trying to escape, the 59 people, some of the groups had been mobilized to throw stones at them so that they don't escape. If you come out on the platform, you are a victim of stone pelting. These are all, I'm capturing it for a shortly, very shortly. And how the government of India asked additional Solicitor General, they flew in an additional Solicitor General to defend the terrorists in 2009. First time a law officer, constitutionally appointed law officers were defending terrorists. So that is what has been that is the reason if the Congress is taking this like a fish to water.
Yes.
Now let me tell you about the Gujarat riots. Basically what happened in Dahod, Naroda, Patia. Every time these people have been talking eloquent on that. Modi had summoned Narendra Modi as CM had summoned the Indian army as per Zamiruddin Shah, brother of Nasiruddin Shah. He was Lieutenant General. He had taken the troops, and it was there on the morning of first, because the 27th it happened. Then the reactions, whatever reactions happened, were on 28th. And let me be very clear, it was two-sided. It was not a single-sided. It was clear exchange, and we do not know whether Hindus were doing it in defense or offense. We do not know. And around 250 to 300 Hindus were also killed, especially those who are living in Muslim-dominated areas. Let us be under no illusion. This distortion or the fake commentary which you are saying are all these are all not being brought out. Jamiruddin Shah was not even asked by Supreme Court SIT to give his statement. It was actually the DM of Ahmedabad who, because Jamiruddin Shah was having been received in the airport, he said, I was stuck with my troops without transport. Whereas the DM had shown a lot of documentation that all infrastructure was provided to him. We do not know what is the truth, but DM was saying that even a reception to everything as required as per the norms had been given to the Lieutenant General. But Jamiruddin Shah, being Jamiruddin Shah, whose brother, elder or younger, doesn't feel happy, safe in India, the top film star Nasiruddin Shah. So you can draw the conclusions as to how much authenticity you will give to Jamiruddin Shah. So this being the case, right from 2002 onwards, we have been facing this distortion about Gujarat riot. Bilkis Banu case. I have spoken to many doctors, many people in Gujarat. They said this pregnant woman's womb being torn out are all biggest provocative stories. Nothing like that happened. Killings were happening, pregnant women were killed. It's not that, but this inhuman type of portraying it. And the misfortune and the ironical part is the Sabrang Trust or the Citizens for Peace or whatever it is, justice or whatever it is, they were making money out of this. The same Teesta settlement, it has been upheld by the Supreme Court, confirmed by, even at that time there was a protest, even after the Supreme Court had said that there was a protest in Jantar Mantar by many of these people who had joined, which you have named.
Yeah.
About the Jaffrey case also, initially she had named one or two police officers who were always anti-Modi. But in the subsequent, these are all matters of fact, and subsequent fact statement recorded, it had been knocked off. The trial also, these are all very clear. So, right, the distortion has been happening right from 2002 up to 2022, whatever time the SIT will give a complete closure to the case. They have been trying to peddle lies. They have been repeatedly trying to peddle lies, and that is what is very disturbing. And I expected a stronger reaction from the government, not just ban. Because ban, once the central government has banned a media point or a literature or whatever it is, it should be executed, implemented with an iron hand. But whereas the opposition, because what the opposition which is doing it for their own politics, petty politics, is basically compromising the image of the Prime Minister of India when the India has the chairmanship of G20. And that is one of the basic reasons that this has on its head now.
Yeah.
And number two is the juggernaut of development.
Yeah.
The chariot of development. I will tell you, Bha means illumination. So we are, Ratha means the chariot of illumination, the chariot of enlightenment, which is Bharata, which this government under leadership of Modi is coming to some extent. They are bringing out like that. Even that is also sending shivers down the Lutyens Delhi types, like what you said, the caravan editor or
Yes.
caravan editor, and these people are other people like that. And it has been established in 2005 Neera Radia tape that they have no credibility. They would, you pay them the money, Neera Radia has offered that you pay us the money, we will plant a story as you want it. These are all, most of the fellows were in that. Jaffrey's case has been thrown out of by the Supreme Court.
Yes.
Bilkis Banu's conviction, let me be very clear about it. It was taken out. It was taken out of Gujarat to Mumbai at the orders of the Supreme Court. Thereafter, the trial was held there. The basic question nobody asks is why there were only 9 defense witnesses. I do not know whether the witnesses were arm twisted, because once they are in Mumbai, many of my information had said that, and CBI doing it, the then director of CBI 2007 and 2008, whomsoever, I know the incumbent names, I don't want to take any names here. They should answer whether the witnesses were arm twisted or not, threatened or not. But ultimately, Bilkis Banu was, his case, the 11 were accused. They spent their time in the sentence, and then now they have come out. So let us not reopen it because it has been upheld with the highest level. So these are all facts.
Yeah.
This needs, and now about Jack Straw.
Yeah.
If was a high commissioner at that time or whatever position, without the permission of the government or without informing the government, how and why did he go to Gujarat in a disturbed, when the state was undergoing a disturbed state? Even an Indian citizen is debarred from going when there is a 144 section or a curfew type situation or even a riot is arson type situation. But what was he doing there? Why? What was his business to go there and do it? He had no business. Number one. Number two is any foreign diplomat or a foreign citizen is not supposed to interfere in the internal affairs of the government. What was he doing there? Number three is the documentary which he has brought out now is a clear case of, classic case of contempt of the Supreme Court, when the Supreme Court has upheld and gave a closure to the entire riot cases. But still it is released. I hope either the Supreme Court takes suo moto contempt notice to these people who are shouting at that, including the state government, which is encouraging and which is going proactively promoting the films, although it is blatantly illegal. Why are they promoting the film? Whatever may be the political differences. And by virtue of that, they are creating a riotous situation. It is not only contempt of court, it is 153A and 295 section of Indian Penal Code. These needs to be really looked hard. And I extol the listeners, please, many of you go there, file a petition before the contempt petition before the Supreme Court about unknown individuals or even the state government or prominent people who are talking eloquent and who are promoting the film eloquently about this
So also,
BBC controversy.
yeah.
Please.
So also, it's IPSMF, which is the Independent and Public Spirited Media Foundation, registered as a public charitable trust in Bangalore on July 1st, 2015. That most of these so-called alternate fact-check news portals like Wire and Alt News started after 2014 to spread the fake narratives against Modi government. And who are the donors of IPSMF? IPMF SMF was started by securing a fund of 100 crores with Rohini Nilekani and wife of Nandan Nilekani donating 30 crores. Now, Rohini, wife of Nandan role models are George Soros and his Open Society Foundation, along with Bill Gates and the Ford Foundation. You must remember that Nandan Nilekani has contested the election on a Congress ticket in 2014 after joining the Congress. Now, see, what I found strange, Mani sir, is that there are one or two ministers who are in the present government who are very close to the Gates Foundation.
See, Bill Gates getting into even it was not very. I was not very comfortable when he was getting into, and they are able to arrange meetings with Yogi Adityanath type of thing. That is number one. Before joining the Congress, also Nandan Nilekani had been given a lot of position in the government, including Planning Commission and UIDAI, Aadhaar one. All those areas they have worked. So his pro-Congress, whatever is left of Congress, his pro-Congress bias is very well known and well documented. As a consequence to that, and now, the 30 crores and you whatever you say, the basic Rohini,
Yeah.
how come it was missed?
Yes.
Because this is a clear case of complicity.
30 crores.
This is a 30 crores. This is a clear case of funding an anti-India channel.
Yes.
You should have at least the NIA or the Enforcement Directorate should get into the because Enforcement Directorate cannot get into that, but because I will tell you the reason for this. After the Bombay attack, there was a recalibration of the UAPA, Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, in 15 days. At that time, we had also some group of officers who were involved in recalibrating it. We are trying to say that in UK, there is a counter-terrorism law and other countries, many other countries, there is a provision for penal provision against anti-propaganda, for penal provision against propaganda. Why don't we do it? But the political leadership, as that it was, with under P. Chidambaram who had taken over the new president, he totally dismissed it. We do not know what was the reason, because there were many media houses would be caught napping, because at that time, it is not just this case or Gujarat case, because this is also basically a propaganda. It is also that Hindu terror narration was going at the peak. So deliberately they did not want to penalize this provision, but now at least they should pursue it. There are several falsehoods which, and I will tell you one more interesting thing, that Smriti Irani ji was INB minister for few months. At that time, she said, I will fight against the fake news. I will try to bring something to penalize the fake news. You are all very aware of it. It was all in the public domain. But within few days, there was a pressure from the media lobbies, and that INB portfolio was taken out from her. This is the power of these fake news, anti-national, anti-Indian, anti-Hindu peddlers. And it is not that anything they are doing it for free. You cannot sustain something like a Wire or what is that
Caravan.
news for so many years without any backdoor funding through flowing into it. So this is something which is important to uh, 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 closure of these type of propaganda machineries. And I have a very interesting question. I was about to come to that from one Karthik Iyer or Kriti Iyer. I'm not able to read the name. Karthik Iyer about the Murthy family. Indeed, Murthy family and Nandan Nilekani are into it together. And it is not really a pure coincidence that Murthy family son-in-law becomes the Prime Minister of the UK, and immediately after that this comes up. So this
Sir, in Davos, when this economic forum was happening,
at that time this comes up.
whatever Smriti was doing, Gate Foundation was cheering her like cheerleaders. So
Right.
there is some other connection also. Was there another
First-
meeting to decide the New World Order there happening?
I do not know, but as long as I have worked as a director of finance with Ms. Smriti Irani ji, at that time she was very clean. I can assure you of that. Now, if something has changed, I do not know. I have no information on that. She was a professional at that time. But the question again comes is, now if Mr. Rishi Sunak is becoming the PM, and at that time this type of things come up, surely the one of the fingers should point towards Rishi Sunak's role in this. And today he has gone a little more about trying to solve the Kashmir problem with Pakistan. There is a news item I read that UK and Pakistan will resolve the Kashmir issue. Under what authority, we do not know. I don't think Rishi Sunak has ever heard of the name quo warranto, a legal principle. He doesn't have the authority, nor the Pakistan after 370. If at all they want to solve the problem, the single point of solution, Pakistan doesn't have the resources, as even for economic reason, they should bequeath the Kashmir to us so that it's a face saver for them. Otherwise, they do not have any authority. Kashmir is an integral part of India, including the POK, Gilgit-Baltistan, and any Pakistan, because Jack Straw also is not a nobler creature. He is pampering to his own constituents, and UK is basically turning into a hotbed of terrorism, a hotbed of Islamic radicalization. If you walk through the Stockport Road from the Piccadilly area towards Levenshulme or Longside, which is high Pakistani concentration, or Rusholme on the other side, parallel route, there are many Pakistani Academy, United Kingdom, Islamic Academy, all these things. You will find them many. I've seen that. I've lived in Manchester, I know that. Similarly, in Birmingham, they have already started calling it Birmingham Sharif. Londonistan. Then you go to the northwest, there are several suburbs like the Oldham, like the Liverpool. It is all, or even within the Manchester city, like the Crumpsall, the Cheetham Hill, the Old Trafford, it's all full of Pakistani people, and they have simply run over Manchester city. They have run over many cities in London. Leicester, recently it happened that Hindus were picked up and beaten up and backed up and dealt with violence. Bradford, you won't get a home if you are a non-Muslim. These are all. So as a consequence, it is happening in Muslims. Like Brussels also, there are certain suburbs where they want Sharia law because it's a Muslim majority population.
Yeah.
So their fundamental is al-taqiya wal, they call it al-taqiya wal hijrat, means emigrate, settle there, encroach, and then that's the route to Sharia. I am not saying that one young lady, one Egyptian, Al-Azhar, she is talking about Al-Azhar University, the ancient, how they are training and how they are helping. Even the Al Jazeera journalists are also trained in that. So these are all facts. So we have to be very, very guarded about it. And the misfortune is these people, our own politicians, only 40% of them are against the nation itself. Whether, see, I told about even in the 2611 case, several people were playing to the gallery saying that, but I can say that it was also a fixed match between, I have been saying that the Indian National Congress and the ISI. So there are several questions which needs to be importantly seen. Yes, Meena.
Yeah. So going to another issue completely, which is the Pathan fiasco. All the theaters are showing, almost empty. And these people are saying that it has become a huge box office hit. Now we're looking at Florida, seats are empty. Okay. You're looking at Patna, seats are empty. You're looking at California, all over the world and in India, seats are all empty. And Jyoti is saying that morning shows of Pathan going on right now, better to cancel the show that has only 7 to 8 audience.
See, so basically,
yeah, and these people are saying that it is a hit. And what is the story? The story is, how can even someone digest it? An ISI agent saves the country while a raw agent wants to destroy it. Does India have to see such movies?
Certainly not. If you had read my book Deception, it is the other way around. I have given details of everything like that. That is one part of the story. About Pathan, it is again a propaganda film about glorifying the ISI. And make no mistakes, in India, in the intelligence agencies, we have a very, very healthy leadership of a former bureaucrat or a former police officer, never an army officer. But ISI has never had a civilian officer as a head. So that way, and number two, ISI is all powerful. Pak Army and ISI are all powerful. They are a army and intelligence agency in looking for a state to rule. So that is the state it is. Having said that, I have been talking about that this Bollywood, especially, I just spoke about the popular star Nasiruddin Shah's brother. Incidentally, I spoke about it. Shah Rukh Khan's mother also had very close Congress connection. And apart from all these things, that politics is their personal choice. So much of money, where does we see? I will tell you a very interesting thing. Sushma Swaraj was INB minister for a short while during Vajpayee's government. And she said, I will make films into an industry so that they will get proper institutional funding. I don't know how the cabal worked, the deep state worked. She was transferred to health ministry. And later on, the laundering money became a corporatization. Last year or so, you had seen a lot of material on this Kwan.
Yes.
Or this Cornerstone and all these things. Cornerstone is owned by a wife of a...
Banti Sajna.
Wife, right.
Yeah.
The wife of
brother-in-law of Salman Khan's brother.
Right. Wife of a Seema Satyadev.
Yes.
So that I'm not contesting that. They, under the garb of brand building or whatever they do, they are into money laundering. Kwan has already proved that they are into drug peddling. They are into all sorts of trafficking. See, a lot of gullible people end up in Bollywood and end up in prostitution center and escort services and all. They are all into all this type of activities. And it is a very corporatized way because on that way the money gets laundered. White to black and black to white and all sorts of things happen. That is their primary job.
Yeah.
So last year during the Sushant Singh murder case, we saw that happening. Some items came out, but they hushed it up and they have their people at the right places, and that is how it was overcome. But the question is, they are all corporatized gangsterism. You cannot deny that fact. We cannot live in denial. And they have entered the cricket annals also. They have entered the Bollywood. They have been well entrenched in Bollywood. Cricket also, laundering, all sorts of things do happen, and they have entered that area also because many things have happened. And even that was the hands of there are very, very deep. Their pockets are deep and their hands are very long. The producer of Mahendra Singh Dhoni film, or Narendra Modi film was also found in the post-mortem room of Cooper Hospital of Shashank Singh Rajput. These are all so much of nexus, so much of nexus that it is a total cobweb which you will be astonished. So that is the reason that will require a full-time debate for that. So I'm trying to touch
Sir.
upon it, give an indicative information about this,
Yeah.
and this is what is most important. Right.
But sir, why has Fadnavis decided to treat Disha Salyan's case separately under SIT when it is so closely connected with SSR's murder?
I have no idea about it. I'm not following up that case. But
Okay, sir, when you have police officers like Paramveer Singh and Vaze in your custody, can't the truth come out?
it cannot come out because it is much more deeper. See, for example, the number of police officers, the number of top scientists who died because of state persecution or state design, evil designs of foreign and Indian state, like the Nambi Narayan case, we all know that. We have seen some things happening even during that Mansukh Harain case, that
Yes.
Antila case. People say a lot of bomb was blasted. It was also very close to the seashore. And incidentally, Antila, Mukesh Ambani was the Lakshmi of Bombay. Adjacent to that is the Saraswati of Bombay. You know, there is the Kensington House, which houses the topmost nuclear scientists of the country.
Yes.
So a bomb blast going to Mukesh Ambani's building would not have spared this also. And what used to be agitating me, I have shared with a lot of friends, that the costume worn by Sachin Vajay at that time, it looked more like it was a unique type of costume not worn in the normal sense. And for me, it looked like I have seen people wearing some sort of radioactive protection. It looked like that. You can check the visuals and come back to me. So was there a joint attack like kill the top industrialists as well as top atomic scientists of the country?
But why? Why the corporate people?
I do not know.
Corporate people are very close to Bollywood.
Who are close to?
Corporate people, business people, top multimillionaires like Ambani are very close to Bollywood and politicians.
I do not know. See, what so many
Is
conspiracies
there a
happen.
parallel government happening in
I
Maharashtra?
do not know. I do not. Maharashtra is always, we see, Maharashtra is totally a different ball game, whichever party comes in power. It is a real estate lobby which runs the government, whether Fadnavis or whether it is Aditya Thackeray or whoever it is. So keep that aside. Because there is a major, and it has been happening for the last 25 years,
Yes.
right from the Dawood days. The reason why earlier also the rains used to be almost of a similar intensity, but Maharashtra go on. But now, one rain and the entire Maharashtra, Bombay comes under water. So this is the biggest litmus test. Having said that, Ambani being so close to, because Ambani simply hires them. Ambani hires them as naach girls for their functions. Nothing more than that. There is no proximity or anything like that. Just to dance and serve the work, do the work of the waiter
That's
with his
business.
money power. No, that is a statement, power statement. So if anybody thinks that Ambani is close to Bollywood, I am sure.
So recently, an ISI major from Pakistan said that some top Pakistani actresses are being used as honey trap, for their business. And he put the initials. And one of the initials is SA, which is Sajjal Ali, who is one of the top actresses in Pakistan. Now she got angry and she said that he's trying to mudsling all the actresses. But if she's so scared, why is she not suing them?
Basically is a harsh reality. It is not only that, even Indian actresses have been laid out to many Pakistani people, and Pakistan, Bombay, it happened. In fact, Goa Chronicles had carried an interview about how this happens in one of the prominent hotels in Andheri, very close to the Bollywood area, film city and all those areas. It is a harsh reality, and Pakistan Pakistan, about honey trapping, getting into Pakistan actresses and other Pakistani women, what they call it as Karachi call girl syndrome. I had also written about it in an interview, I spoken about in an interview to Sunday Guardian on the 22nd of April 2018. If people can locate it from the archives, it is there. Officers, judges, journalists, police officers, public sector chiefs, everybody has been, many of them have been honey trapped. And not only honey trapped, they have been entangled in a fictitious marriage so that they
So
can
can
be.
you tell us? Yeah, can you tell us what is this? Why are these cornerstone? Fixing marriages between cricketers, and
That's the one of
Bollywood
them.
actors.
That is one of the ways of love. For example, there's a Pant also was into a trap, but now he refused blatantly. But this is one of them. Now,
Now
our friend
Sunil
KL
Shetty's
Rahul,
son-in-law is a cricketer.
KL Rahul, I was coming to, KL Rahul has got into that. This is a design, and that film becomes that becomes the muscle because see the popularity levels of both these things. Any precipitate action against either of them, there will be a huge public outcry. A Bollywood and a cricketer power couple getting being found on the wrong side of law, and any procedure is initiated against them, it could be to an extent even politically also not very volatile. Not everybody is well informed. See, there's a huge mass of people who are absolutely passionate about Bollywood. They are passionate about. So this is a very well thought out design to force the people, force the agencies, force the government, including force the judiciary. They can even force the hand of the judiciary also into, see the way the people under trials are languishing in jails and these people walk into the court and get a relief and walk away. So these are all hard facts of India. And this needs, see, if does a Penelope or a Elizabeth Hurley or anybody gets a overriding priority in American courts? Do they get any overriding priority on any of the actors? I don't watch movies at all. I don't watch, but that Jennifer Lopez or whatever it is, do they get any, if there is a litigation, they have to come in the queue, although that litigation doesn't take much time. All litigations have to conclude in 18 months to 24 months or whatever it is. But do they get any priority over that? No. But here only, one is their capacity to hire the top lawyers who are very expensive, who have who are able to hold the span of attention of the judge. That is most important. Whether he is competent or not, I have no comments to offer. So that is the way it is. That is the reality of India, that the government cannot do anything about it. Right.
Was Rishabh's accident probably due to him not falling for the trap laid out by Kawal? True.
I do not have any idea about it. I have never done on that side. Possibly, yes, I need to really look at it.
So why can't public put a PIL banning this marriage of cricket with Bollywood monsters?
That is not acceptable because it's an individual right. And our Bollywood cricket connection has been there right from Dharmendra Tagore days. Or maybe before that. Maybe before that we do not know. See, basically, if you see Dilip Sardesai also, not directly Bollywood, but her mother has been in the Central Board of Film Certification Committee for several donkey's years before this government came and replaced her, Nandini Sardesai, although she's a lecturer in sociology in some Bombay college, but she has been able to do like that. So like that, there have been some sort of penetration always. And you know what Dilip Sardesai and his wife dish out, how anti-India, what they call it as the Mawali of Madison. We all know that.
Martin is asking, what does Sir think of Sunil Shetty begging Yogi ji?
That is the desperation. And that has been validated by what our friends have been showing about the factual position about the exhibition centers of the Pathan film. That is the biggest giveaway. Prior to that, Sunil Shetty begging it. But did anybody say, sir, we will do a pro India nationalistic themes? No, they did not say. They will never do.
Sir, it is said that in IPL that they do not pay the cricketers via checks. They give them as cash. What is the reason for that?
Possibly, I do have no idea about it. A lot of betting happens in IPL. Betting syndicates control it. But what is the way it is, it cannot be right because there will be some audit. So there's a lot of diligence also goes through that. Each player, when it is publicly declared, that part they have to pay in cash, in check. Beyond that, we do not know.
So this new news that Dawood has got married to not this Pathan, not the movie Pathan, but he has got married to a Pathani in Pakistan and is living a jolly life in Pakistan. What about that news, sir?
Yes, it is a fact, but the point basically Dawood being living in Pakistan, we have given the address also that Clifton area, defense enclave, Karachi, and all that. That is what has been coming out. Although my information says that he is now living temporarily, his family lives there, but he is now living somewhere else in the Peshawar North Frontier area temporarily, so that if the Indian government comes searching for him, they can go in for denial. Other than that, yes.
So Ganpati is saying cricket plus Bollywood plus politics plus Pakistan plus anti-national, all are connected.
See, they are connected underneath. Nothing you will see on the face. All of them are connected by an underneath wire.
So then when you are talking about Swachh Bharat cannot happen superficially. It has to happen only when things like drug, which is a proxy war, all this is removed, right? So then if we say that we can touch these people, we can't touch those people. We can touch these people, we cannot touch those people, sir. So how can the system be clean then?
See, 30% of the terror funding comes from drugs. And that is from Pakistan. And let us be very clear, Benazir Bhutto, whose son is the now. See, earlier in early 80s, the drugs was, center of gravity of drugs was in Latin America. Benazir Bhutto comes to take over Pakistan as a politician in 1987 or 88. Slowly, the drug as a source, vital source, the center of gravity of drug production has shifted to Pakistan nowadays. The last 30 years, that is what is our achievement. That is number one. Drugs, every delegate who come now, I have a problem with Bilawal Bhutto coming to Goa, which is again a very dicey situation, because both ways, he has a DNA of drug peddling. Even other way, Pakistani delegates, whenever they come, see, if you see the cricket match of 2006, 16th October 2006, see, Pakistan, a country which always lives in denial, they themselves voluntarily accepted the two of their fast bowlers were peddling drugs, so they had to be sent out, so that the entire team which was peddling drugs could be saved.
Yeah. But what is the problem? Goa is under BJP, they can catch it.
Now it is very, see, this is the first proper delegate which is coming, because it was happening 2006 again, January, Safma delegates were found trafficking drugs. So there have been Pakistani delegates whenever they come. So after the BJP, this is the first time a delegate is coming for an official function.
Okay.
Whether he will be, NCB is already on higher alert, but being a minister and being with the diplomatic immunity, there may be some constraint, but it is a fact.
Yeah.
The drug peddling happens brazenly by Pakistan top official, and his mother had brought in the drug as a viable source of economics in Pakistan.
Yes.
Whatever. And number two is the normal trend of Pakistani delegates peddling drugs in India. So both ways is a very, very vulnerable person. Most probably he will be bringing some drug. I have very strong basis for that.
Yeah. We know you do not talk without facts.
Right.
Yeah. So True Indian is asking how Virat Kohli gives a gift of 2.6 crore car to Rahul. How they make so much money? No great scientists or even PM legally make so much money.
They are open and open source. No? Sachin Tendulkar and many of the sportsmen in many countries, it's not in India. The gifting and all must be, will come on the income tax radar. But having said that, they do make money, and that's the reality. And who pays? Where from they make the money? From you and me. We watch IPL. They get the endorsement. They do all sorts of things, and so that is the reason. And, next, Chitraji, Pakistan will never send Dawood to India, even after it collapses, because he is the lifeline of Pakistan nowadays. The more they are in financial trouble, the more Dawood becomes an asset for them, because through laundered money or whatever it is, economic collapse means only the common man suffers. How do you think the generals and the bureaucrats of Pakistan continue to get their supplies? It is through the bad money of the Dawood and others, the organized crime syndicates who ensure their supply through grey market. There is no shortage of atta in Salman Sharif or Shehbaz Sharif's home, or Iftikhar Khan's home, or whatever it is. It is the common man who is suffering.
She has one more question. Will Pakistan be divided into 5 parts as it is on the brink of collapse?
The collapse has got, as I said, that collapse affects the common man, the majority of common man, maybe the 95% of the population who have no voice. The people who hold the reins of power will not be affected, not today, not ever. That is a harsh reality. If you even go to Islamabad, and if you compare the backlanes of Rawalpindi and Islamabad, which is 32 kilometers far away, Islamabad looks like any international city. But you go back to Rawalpindi, 32 kilometers south of Islamabad, after the general headquarters and certain elite areas, just going further into that, it is worse than a slum. So that is the way most of the Pakistan cities are. Same is the case with Lahore, same is the case with Karachi. Other places, less said the better. These are all very important things. So, very important extremely sad, but
yeah. How come Censor Board of India accepts Raw as villain shown in Pathan movie?
See, basically from 2010 there was a movie on the Indian Air Force. The Defense Ministry of India raised hue and cry and ensured that the Indian Air Force is not shown in a bad light. I do not know that. Well, I don't watch movies. I do not know the name of the movie. It did happen. Whereas here, the intelligence agencies should have raised a hue and cry, but they did not do it. They let it go. Because that is a flip.
Do you think this Anurag? Yeah.
The lop side of it is that intelligence agencies cannot come out openly on the public platform.
Yeah.
For the fear of exposure. They will continue to be in denial. That is the handicap they had. And that is how this got out.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have been.
Yeah. Sir, also, this movie which is now already done and needs to be released on Mapla massacre, by Ali, who converted to Hinduism, and now he's known by the name of Rama. Now, that movie is not being given a certificate by not only Kerala, but now the center also. They are releasing stupid movies like Pathan. It's okay. But they're not releasing something which has all the historical facts.
The Anurag Thakur has paid the price of losing Himachal. Now, the public opinion has to go to him, flood him with mails that you are losing the election if you don't get it released. Simply, let us be pushing it too hard. We don't do it because the other party is a bunch of, even in this government, a congressman has a higher chances of getting your job done than a local person. See, that is one reason. And because number two is the Central Board of Film Certification does have a high level of corruption. You pay the money, and number two, let's be very fair, no matter what happens.
No, you know what is happening, sir? They want all the bad portion of Muslim Maplas to be removed. See, they want to rewrite history.
See, that is the way. Another gentleman is there, a poor person from Kashmir. He has made a film which is stuck in the Central Board. They have not they have examined it, but not coming to a decision. That says, Mera Abdul Aisa Nahi. So I do not know. They are not even responding, Delhi RO. I know the boy who came to me, I said they are not even responding. They have to take a decision. Like that, there are several things which are boxed. These needs to come out. Otherwise, start releasing on other platform without any certification. Let them go on challenge, let them take a case. And Central Board of Certification will be closed out because they have to be shown the house. And Anurag Thakur need also be brought in and said that, look, this is the way it is, and are you caught by the Bollywood mafia? What is your problem? Now, many channels like you have to raise and go and raise the question. No national channel has taken up this case of Mopla massacre. When they are talking, when the Pathan was being discussed, everybody says freedom of expression, freedom of what happens to the Mopla massacre.
We've
So we
interviewed the
need national
director
debate.
twice.
But the national, you have interviewed, but the mainstream media, how many of places they have come? So that is the way. And nobody will come because they are all afraid of the INB ministry.
Apurva is
And
saying,
everybody is plowing his own field.
yes.
Nobody is doing anything on the national cause.
Yeah. Apurva is saying, fail to understand why they are hell-bent on doing things that currently people are disliking, so visible that their acts are not pro-nation.
You are right, perfectly right. You need to be, that's the reason you need to be conveying it. Communication is important. Communication is important. So we need also we also need to be, no minister has ever been arrested, Chitra. So let's be very fair. They will also, before getting arrested, they will get for 1 or 2 days, they may spend in the custody and that's it.
Sir, just one question. It's a candid question before I let you go, because I know you're tired. Just one question, sir, before you go, and that is, it's a candid question. Just like in many other countries, they do not allow politicians to have business and side business as long as they're in politics. Why cannot we have rules that politicians do not have any connection with these Bollywood characters and such and such?
This cannot be enforced. See, you don't have a law which cannot be enforced, and we know that because Bollywood also is a profession, prima facie, or technically or theoretically, it is a profession. You cannot stop that, and it is a profession which has generated a lot of revenue. The question is
No, the reason why, no, sir. The reason why I'm asking is because when people like Ekta Kapoor have shown films, degrading films, where army people are shown, in the most horrible sexual, scenes. Yes,
that is the reason
and
I'm
they're
saying.
let go.
The reason is to give a positive turn to it, and that requires leadership. This Prasoon Joshi or Anurag Thakur are not the leaders. In fact, last week I had a one-to-one with Chandraprakash Dwivedi in a conference, Chanakya Tweetmaker. There I had to confront him on fact because he was not expecting that. So I knew Vedas also. He was trying to do like, I don't want to recollect that. It is all in the public domain. Surat Lit Fest. It will be coming on the YouTube channel very shortly. So that is the reason everybody is Urduized. And I said that is wrong because the entire fundamentals are Sanskrit is Hindi, and you require a lot of leadership change at the INB ministry. INB ministry, when Prakash Javadekar was the minister, I had written to him like, look, SAFMA had a Center for Conflict Resolution in Kashmir located, SAFMA, South Asia Federation of Media Association, at Lahore. What is the point in that? That is not their mandate. I do not know anything happened after that, but the question is, he was transferred out. So these are all things which are compulsions. And even in this government, there are very few people who have the vision, like the PM and a few others. But he needs to populate every ministry. So somewhere there will be some gap. How does he address that?
In such a populated country, we do not have good people.
Talent is missing. In the political administrative talent is missing. And the bureaucrats are able to take them for a rough ride. And that your population is there, don't talk of demographic difference, because several reasons the talent has not been harnessed, psychophancy is harnessed.
Yes, you get to that
Every
point.
person,
Yeah,
every
you
person
get to
who
that
speaks,
point where you say that,
every
see, are they
bootlicking is
scared
harnessed.
of people who have the talent?
They are not scared. They have not been allowed to grow by a lot of lobby. Lot of lobby. There are people who
Absolutely.
can solve, who can bring peace to Kashmir within 40 days or 6 months. After the even 370, if you recollect, read my book Money Rights. It was I who had flagged 370 abrogation into 2018. For so many years, the government was knowing it, but 370 happened so within 1 year. So the question is, those people are not coming allowed to come to the front four. So that forefront. So that is the reason we need a lot of basic changes, the attitudinal changes. And today or tomorrow, I had suggested to my friend Bharat Gopu, but since last Thursday also, I did not go this year also. And Venkatramani, the Attorney General, is coming to address that in Madras, in Chennai, about revisiting Constitution. There, I have said, I have been, I think, very fundamental changes in the Constitution, including removing the permanent tenure to bureaucracy.
Removing the
For
permanent?
security of tenure to bureaucracy.
Ah,
If they don't person, they should be kicked out. As simple as that. If you don't do that, it is all catastrophe which is waiting for us. Because
so,
they will
yeah.
continue to do this. And the irony is, after 95 batches, it is certain reasons the coaching classes lobby is putting more persons in the bureaucracy and ran the really meritorious people.
So
And
the
that
only
can be,
good, yeah, the only good change that we have seen is that all these people from Bollywood who were acting like they are the Maharajas of India have suddenly come down to earth because of the boycott Bollywood movement.
have they
Now
come
they
down to
are
earth?
trying to please everybody.
Have they come down to earth? Now he is loosening his strings only to buy the ticket so that the fictitious accounts can be made out. For how long can it sustain? Is it economically or financially sustainable? The producer or the whomsoever it is. So these are all issues which needs to be we need to be how long it is financially sustainable. That is the question which needs to be asked.
Yeah. Chitra says Modi will win the next election. Till then, we need to make sure false propaganda is exposed. We cannot let India go back to Congress.
Certainly, Congress is not the option. Certainly not the option. But a refined Modi is the option. Modi needs also to be looking at his team. I have
And he
nothing
also
personal.
needs to root out all these idiots.
The Anurag Thakur. See, Anurag Thakur has a clear nexus with the cricketer where Rajiv Shukla is.
Yes.
Are you getting it? So that is, and Rajiv Shukla's wife runs a TV channel, News 24. So it is all so ingrained. And Rajiv Shukla, somehow he manages to come in. So these are all
But
very important.
they are all caught in this case where allegedly they gang raped this Don's wife, Hardik Pandya, Munaf Patel, and this Rajiv Shukla. BJP also gave a complaint with that they were this happened in the Trinity, hotel,
I do not have any idea.
and yet nothing is done.
So this is the way it is. And again, they can get the required relief from the courts. So that is not an issue.
Yeah. Thank you, sir, so much
Thank you.
for this
Thank
wonderful
you.
time.
I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry. I'm still struggling a throat.
Don't worry.
Restriction.
You've given us a lot of interesting information.
Yeah.
And always, thank you so much.
Thank
Jai
you.
Hind. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.